Hi, it's Stuart from the Courtyard Cafe. Welcome back to the kitchen. Any cafe or coffee shop relies a lot on tray bakes, and the Courtyard is no exception. One of the most popular is a tray bake which I introduced a little while ago, and we sell a lot of them, and it's one that the level 2 NVQ students will be helping me make in the kitchen on a regular basis. It's a Mary Berry recipe which you can get in the BBC Good Food website, and it's for a lemon drizzle tray bake. This recipe is a very convenient one because you basically put everything in together. This is 225 grams or 8 ounces of caster sugar, through the sieve because you do get lumps in it. Next is 275 grams or 10 ounces of self-raising flour. And again, through the sieve just to make sure that there are no lumps in it. And to the flour, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which will help make the cake rise. I've got 225 grams, or again 8 ounces of cake margarine. Stork or any of the brands like that are pretty much the same. 4 tablespoons just of regular milk, and 4 large beaten eggs. The real flavour in this cake comes from lemon. Got 2 large lemons, and all I'm doing is taking the zest, because that's where the natural oil and the flavour, and at the moment, if you were here, the smell of the lemon comes from. So basically, zest that, and I'll add that to the mixture as well. That's the 2 lemons zested, and that goes into the mix as well. The beauty of this recipe is that there really isn't any waste, because the juice in the lemons I will squeeze in a little while, and that will become the lemon drizzle on the top of the sponge. The ingredients are all in the bowl. Down into the mixer and start it mixing. What I've done with the baking tray, you can maybe see, is cover it well with margarine, and then in the bottom I've put a sheet of non-stick baking parchment. That's important because when the cake comes out to put the drizzle on, you're lifting it out and it's still relatively warm, and it's quite a big slab of very soft cake to try and move without the support of the paper. Simply a matter of scraping the mix out. And then we'll use the palette knife to level it and spread it across the tin. Just get the last of the mixture off the spatula and spread it around. Basically just to level it out. I have the oven heated to 170 degrees. Always make sure when you're making a cake, or baking bread as well for that matter, that you have the oven to temperature while you're making your mixture. The raising agent, whether it's baking powder, bicarb or yeast, will start to work in your mixture, and it is important that as soon as it's mixed and in the tray or in the loaf tin, that you put it in to cook immediately. That's my mixture, and I'm going to put that into the oven first of all for 35 minutes, and after that I'll check it. And that is the lemon sponge baked. It's had 37 minutes in total, nice golden colour. You can judge that it's cooked just by touching it slightly on the top and it springs back again. Normally when I'm baking cakes, I'm using caster sugar, and even that goes through the sieve to make sure there are no lumps. This topping for the drizzle cake is unusual. It's 175 grams of regular granulated sugar, just as you would have in your tea or your coffee. And you don't mix it with the lemon juice ahead of time because you don't actually want it all to dissolve. The secret to this is that when you put the sugar into the juice, and this is the juice of the 2 lemons which I had zested earlier, it really is quite sticky. But it's the secret to the lemon drizzle cake. I've got the lemon and sugar mixture here, and what I'm going to do, when the cake's still hot, and it's important that you do this when it is hot because it's absorbed better into the cake. The reason for the baking tray underneath on the rack is that a certain amount of the lemon glaze will actually drip off. You can't really avoid that. But keep going until you've got all of the juice and the sugar spread over the top of the warm cake. I've now got the whole cake covered in the sugar and lemon mixture, and what I'm going to do now is leave that as it is with the liquid soaking into the cake until it cools. This is where having the baking parchment underneath comes into its own, because it does help everything hold together. First, make a cut in the middle, because I'm going to cut these into long fingers. And then it's just a matter of cutting them evenly. I would love slices of that, better cut it again. Just going to try to take a piece off. You see the inside. The sugar has crystallized. Inside is a beautiful golden sponge. It will get better in the biscuit tin over the next couple of days, because what will happen is that the liquid will continue to soak down through the sponge and make it moist. And it really is a very beautiful tray bake.